So, my midlife secret or tip is to think about how, with looking after our bodies and our spirits and our minds, we're going to have much longer lives than our parents did and our grandparents did. So, my tip is to think about what you want to do to contribute to the world, to love and peace and health and caring. Thank you. Joyce.
Thank you. I don't know. I don't know what to say. If you had asked like about as far as being a woman all around together, I would have had to say it was childbirth. Nobody tells you it's just the worst menstrual cramps in the world. There's this whole secret around what labor is really like. But I mean, as far as like midlife, the only thing that I think nobody really said to me was like the symptoms of menopause aren't the same for every woman. Like the normal symptoms that I have seen being talked about, I experienced some of them. But the one thing I experienced that no, I never heard anybody talk about was I had irrational thoughts. I had thoughts where my head was going, but this is true, this is true. And I'm going, no, that's not true. It's not true. Oh, but yes, it is. I'm there arguing with myself. So that's the only thing that I can contribute. Elizabeth?
My midlife health secret or tip that no one tells you, I'm going to take from the point of view of where I am now, looking back at my younger self and what I might want to say. And I'm well beyond the 40 point by 33 years. Uh, so I want to say that mindset is really what makes the big difference for your health and wellness. And one way of looking at it is if you look at a funnel, and the width of the funnel at the start, when you're very young, everything is wide open. You have so many career choices. You have so many people that you're going to come into relationship with. But sometimes by the time you get to that midlife, you feel that you're constrained, like the funnel has come down to that narrow point. But what I would recommend everyone to do is to flip that funnel around. Who you have been, who you are, in the relationships you're in, the troubles that you're facing, the wonderful achievements that you've made, don't define your next day. It really is opening up again into the width of that funnel. And with that mindset, get out there. Everyone can change at any time. There's never any age limitation. So that's my tip for midlife. And I'll call on Terry next.
All right. So my biggest health secret for midlife is that you can actually feel better in your 50s. I feel the best in my 50s than I did in my 20s. So I think one of the myths out there is that with age you just get worse, and it's so not true. Especially with being able to now have the ability to age in reverse by just focusing in on healthy eating and wise supplementation and getting your sleep and knowing how that all works. I mean, life in the 50s doesn't have to be miserable. It can be pretty sweet. So that's what I think I didn't realize when I was in my 20s. I didn't think that when I was in my 50s, I was going to be this vibrant and full of energy and this positive. And here I am. So I'm a living example of what it feels like. You can feel good in your 50s. So, and beyond, of course. So let's see. How about Dr. Peggy? You can go next.
Well, gosh, I'm way above you in age. I have quite a few years above you. I think the thing that I cherish the most as I age is noticing the wisdom we carry, noticing where we got all that wisdom. And it's from trials, tribulations, good times and bad. I think it's important to get to know you and to learn how to love you. I don't think they teach us that when we're younger. It's more about what other people think. Well, when you get to a certain age, it's important to prioritize and focus on what you think of you and try to, cherish what you see. Lisa.
I had a feeling you were going to choose me. So my midlife health secrets, especially since I started menopause in my 30s, has really been a shift in my mindset and to see challenges as opportunities and for curiosity and growth rather than something negative. So really getting quiet and listening to the universe or God or whatever name you want to give it, to really listen and see, okay, what do I need now? What does my body need? Who do I need to surround myself with? Who do I need to get rid of? Really taking that time to get quiet and listen and see it as a place of curiosity and openness. And that has helped me to make better decisions, helped with my self-care, and really helps me to make better connections around me. So that's what I'll say. Patrice, you're up.
All right. One thing that I always had in mind, I wanted to grow old gracefully. Well, what would that mean? And I know with at midlife, and there's some major changes happen in women with menopause and that, and it definitely is a different stage. And to be able to recognize the changes happening and accept them, and that loving care that you will have different needs. Your body might need more rest. The skin becomes drier, or so you need to focus more on hydration or whatever. But it's really that accepting that this is a different stage of life, and there's lots of benefits not having to worry about your period or anything like that anymore. The kids, I know for me, they're getting off on their own at that age. So that made a big difference too. And then it's finding when that main role of being a mother isn't there anymore, then other things that fulfill you, like you still have lots to give. So let your light shine, share your gifts, and grow old gracefully.
Sorry. Okay. Let's see. My tip. There's so many ways to go with this. I guess I'm here to say that what we're programmed to believe is normal, we don't have to accept as normal, because there are things that we can do to care for the body, that this becomes it can become a smooth transition with the right mindset, the right types of movement, the right types of nourishment, and just self-care. I think, as the symptoms develop, it is a sign or a message from your body letting you know that you need to pay attention to something. And it's a matter of tapping in and listening to that. And there's natural ways to get through this, happy, healthy, and whole. And it's a moment to embrace instead of fear. And it really is how you go, what your mind is creating for yourself. So I'm just here to say it can be a wonderful process. And I have to echo what Terry said earlier, is the fact that I feel better in my 60s than I did in my 40s, I guess would be a good way to look at it. But yeah, so there's lots to do naturally that make this a really wonderful time of life. And it can just get better and better and better all the time with the right approach. So, Alicia.
So there's not much to add, except that I think here we all have that same mindset. Getting older is not a sentence. Getting older is living your fullest, the happiest way, and still be able to give. And to me, I guess my midlife health secret is the only person responsible of me of me, of my health, my well-being is me. And I need to take control of my own well-being. So, Cindy Olson, all yours.
Well, it's hard to add something, but I want to take it from a different point of view. When you get to be in midlife, you have to leave your childhood behind. And all the upset that, was created in your life, school problems and all the rest of it. But what I see, I've worked with people in over 80 for a very long time. And as you age, you don't realize that you need to take care of your lower body. How many people think about the fact that if you have healthy feet, you'll be able to stay walking? And if you can't walk as an elderly person, that's a problem. But it has to start in midlife. So I absolutely ask people to go outside and, if possible, now I'm not asking you to do it in the snow, I get it, but you can take off your shoes, right? And walk on the grass or go. I'm very lucky. I'm a mile and a half from the beach. So I go to the beach quite often and I take my shoes off and I walk on the beach. So if you have lower body strength, you're going to have a much easier time in your quote unquote elder years. But I don't think, like a lot of people here, I'm aging backwards. I'm a lot stronger than I was when I was 15 years old, 20 years old. I can pick up more. I can basically run on the beach where I couldn't do it before. So I think that the secret of midlife is that you let go of the past and really become more future oriented.